Hey guys, Brandon coming back at you with another Fly Tying 101, and today we are going to be talking about the A1, the Mac Daddy of shrimp patterns, at least in my opinion. This is a supreme fly for bonefish, so I thought it'd be interesting to throw in our, guess what, very first ever saltwater fly tying supply drop. So let's go ahead and get that guy out of here and get started. What you're gonna do, reach into your goodie bag, get you a hook, and plant it right in your vise, as always. Then, from there, get your pink thread and get it started. Just like so. Now, the color of this fly comes heavily off of the thread, so we want to make sure that our thread is nice and well covered as we move forward with this fly. So get your bead chain here and snip you off some eyeballs with your favorite pair of wire cutters, not included. So we're going to go ahead and take that. And you want them just a little bit behind the eye of the hook here. Helicopter them on just like any other set of eyes. Just like so. And what I like to do is this little windy technique. I feel like it makes those helicopter moves a little bit tighter, and I could be entirely making that up, and that could be all in my head. So from there, we're gonna move on. You got this awesome V-rib material that was included in this box. You're gonna wanna get you a good stretch of it. Just go ahead and pull this out here. I'd say about that much, just because it's easier to work with. Plus you have plenty on the spool here, so it is what it is. Go ahead and mash that all up and slap it in the bag, all willy-nilly like. Just because this stuff, I'm one of those people that likes to clean up as I go. I know you heathens out there like to just keep your fly tying bench just a nightmare, so that's on you though. All right, so with this V-rib, you got a flat spot and then you got like a half round spot. So what you want to do is tie that flat spot into the hook. So basically you want that flat spot facing the hook, and like I said, this fly gets its color from the thread, so make sure you have good thread coverage as you do this. I like to go over once and do a pretty good job and then go back over. Just to really not only build up body, but just to make sure that we got a nice coating of that pink thread on there. Just like so. All right. Go ahead and let that hang and smash your V-rib into your material holder. Your next beautiful material is this crystal mirror flash. We even got it in pearlescent just for you, salty sea dogs. Pull that out without making too big of a mess. Yeah, who am I kidding? This stuff is... Second it comes out of the wrapper, it seems to just go poof. All right, you're gonna get about 8 strands or so, because we're gonna make us a tail. Just like so. Now, the length we're looking for is about from the eyes to the back of the hook. So just like that, that's about good enough right there. And we're just gonna go ahead and tie her in. Now, I'm going to probably drive some people nuts by making my thread super long here, but I do that because I don't want to sit here and mess around with the crystal flash too much. So, I'm going to pull that back, give it a second wrap in just to really lock it in. And we're going to move everything to just behind the chain eyes. Now, guess what? Now we're wrapping. Now we are wrapping. Touching thread wraps If you kind of shoot over and make some gaps, that's no problem, because inevitably there will be a strand that picks up the slack there for you. So don't stress about gaps too much. See? Look at that. Just like so. I don't like this strand though. We got that one. That one wanted to forge his own path. Alright. We're just going to go ahead and tie this in now. This crystal flash is one of those materials, you give it an inch, it'll take a mile. So that's why I'm doing some funky noob-like maneuvers here, just like so. Alright, go ahead and trim this off as close as you can get it. And now we move on to the fun stuff, doing the V-rib. Alright, so like I said, there's a flat and a round side, and so what you're looking for is to get that round side on the outside and the flat side onto the hook. Like, you know, touching the hook. And that's what it looks like if you mess that up. So don't do that. Sometimes it's hard to get it to want to move over to the round side, so you're just gonna have to give it some persuasion here. There we go. There we go. Got it. Now with any sort of ribbing material, whether it be wire, V-rib, or any sort of body material, as you'll notice, I'm tying this in backwards. I don't really mind it if you tie it one way or another. I'm sure there's some experts that will disagree with me here, but really, whichever way you get it on the hook and getting it looking good on the hook, that's the way you want to go with it, because you can just take your thread here and just give it a few wraps just like that. And look, now you're tied in just as well as if you tied it in the correct way. There you go, just like that. Once again, trim up as close as you can. Make everything nice and neat. Alright, if you have a rotary vise, now's the time to give her the old DC dip and twirl. And flip it onto the bottom and jump your eyes. Because what we're going to do is we're going to play around with a little bit of tail. Go ahead and pull your bucktail out of its packaging without getting little white hairs everywhere. And come up to the top of the bucktail where it's a little bit shorter than, you know, say down here. Alright, so then now we're going to just, it's a small pinch because we're not looking for anything super crazy or anything. I'm actually going to take it from down here. I like the way down towards the bottom's looking right now. We're not looking for anything crazy, but what I will say is grab the tips once you pulled it off and give it a little whack like this, because it gets rid of a lot of those little tiny fibers that we don't really have any use for. So just go ahead and get rid of the small tiny fibers. And what we're looking for is something about to the end of the tail there. Once you have that kind of lined up, get it right up on the hook and start tying it in. Just like so. And get rid of this poofy bit right here, because we have no use for that. I'll go ahead and clean this up just a touch. Because I will tell you this much, boys and girls, I'm crowding the eye a little bit. So clean that up as best you can. I'm sure I'm going to hear this in the comments section about how nasty that front looks. But hey, I tell you what, if it catches fish, who cares? All right, so what I like to do for this front part is go ahead and grab like 4 strands, because we're going to flip it. We're going to, like, you know, fold it in half and make 8, so to speak. I'm just going to grab whatever I have right here and call it a day. We're going to trim this up. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and fold that in half now. Just like so. And what we're looking for is kind of like a beard, if you will. It is just kind of, will come to about the middle section of the other tails there. Let me go ahead and tie that in. Trim off the trash. Drop it all over your fly tying bench, because I know that's what you're gonna do. And then go ahead and finish that up. Grab your old trusty whip finisher and give her 3 twists of the noodle. Go ahead and trim all that up, and that is it, my guys. So, if you haven't checked out our fly tying supply drops, head on over to trueflysupply.com, hit the subscriptions button, and there you can see all of our subscriptions, including this one, our brand new saltwater tying supply drop. We got everything from saltwater to trout to bass, you name it. Go check it out. Like I said, head on over to trueflysupply.com, hit the subscription buttons, and I will see you in the next video. Tasty.